What's going on, everybody? I'm Jonathan. This is Duke Does Amazon, my Amazon selling channel. So last week I did something that I do almost every week. I searched the buy one get one free sections from my local grocery chain, and I hit up multiple locations between 5 and 10 on a given day, the first day that they come out. And so this time I decided to write down everything that crossed my mind as I'm in these stores making decisions and just going about my business. A lot of these things have become second nature to me that I don't even think about them, but it was interesting because I took time to jot them down in my phone, and reflecting on them, I said, you know what, there's a lot of value here. And so I want to share this information with people that aren't as experienced. And so a lot of this does pertain to grocery stores, but a lot of it, you can see the translation relate to any type of chain store. So without further ado, let's hop into it, okay? So first things first, this may sound really simple and really obvious, but whenever you're going sourcing, wherever it is, I would strongly encourage you to get the biggest shopping cart that's available. I'm sure there's actual scientific data behind this and human behavior, but I know I've been in a rush before, or thinking I'm only going in for one small thing, and I get like the little hand cart or no cart at all, and very quickly you're walking around like this. Or even worse, what I'm finding is that I don't scan as much as I normally would because I know I'm limited to my basket size. So it's a little thing that I've picked up on over the years. So first things first, get the biggest cart that's available, even if you think you're only going in for one item, trust me. Number two, as soon as I walk into the store, I'm peeking to see if this store has self-checkout. I'm noticing this is a common trend amongst all major stores, that they're starting to implement them at more and more and more locations. Now, for one, I don't really get embarrassed and I know I'm doing nothing wrong, so it's not about that, but I also know not everybody's as comfortable, especially as a newbie. So for one, if it makes you feel more comfortable, that's a win in of itself. More specifically for me, some stores have limits on how many items you can buy for a buy one get one, or it might just draw a red flag and they might ask for a manager if you try to buy like 20 of the same thing. But if you're doing self-checkout, it's never an issue. It's not like the machine automatically knows your limit. And so that makes a big decision, or a big difference, I should say. So self-checkout, I know I'm personally comfortable stocking up on like 20 of a product if they're there, as opposed to maybe I would only cap it at like 8 or 10 if I had to check out with someone in person. So that makes a big difference. And then I specifically try to go to those stores that have self-checkout. Number three, lean into your region. This is a great example. I live in South Florida. We have a lot of Latin American and Cuban influence, and it's noticeable in the grocery stores. Now, I've lived down here a while, so it's become second nature to me. But keep in mind, as a reseller, there's people in the Midwest and other parts of the country that don't have access to these same products as easily as just going to the local grocery store. So really think about what type of regional products does your grocery store carry? And I would definitely say, even at full price, give those items some extra attention, because you'd be surprised how many other people are looking for those and don't have access to them, okay? So that's number three. Number four, if you're gonna be going to the same chain in the same day or same couple days, like for instance, if I'm just gonna use Walmart as an example, Walmart grocery. Let's say I was going to 10 different Walmart groceries. Although most of the items in each store are going to be the same, there's always going to be some variance, but generally speaking, it's going to be very similar. And so my point is, spend the extra 10, 20, 30 minutes at the first stop of the day. Put in those extra couple minutes, because if you find a new product or two, you can likely buy it at all of the other locations throughout the day. Whereas then on the flip side, if you didn't decide to spend extra time to the last stop, you're probably not gonna backtrack. So if you're ever gonna load up and put some extra time into a stop, make it the first one, because then you can see that payoff throughout the day. After that, number five, screenshot so you can save records on your phone of certain listings. What I mean by that, if you're scanning on your phone or typing in keywords, and let's say there's a 1-pack, there's a 2-pack, there's a 4-pack, there's a 6-pack, which isn't crazy in the grocery world, you might forget by the time you got home which listing was the one that you actually thought was the best one and made the most sense. Now, it's not like you can't get home and figure that out, but it's gonna save you a lot of time. So what I like to do is right there on the spot, before I forget, I screenshot the listing that I wanna stick with, and that way I can reference it when I get home. Number 6, at my grocery store, when I scan something, or excuse me, when I purchase something from the clearance section, or anywhere in general, but I notice it really happens in clearance and it rings up the wrong price, my store, my local chain's policy is that they're going to give you that item for free, okay? So a couple of things. One, you want to pay attention when you're checking out, if you're not using self-checkout, or even if you are, to make sure that you're being charged appropriately. You don't want to get home and realize that A, you're overpaying, and on the flip side, if it does ring up incorrectly, they're going to make the price correct, and then you're going to get some free product, okay? So always pay attention when you're checking out on the prices. Number 7 is expiration dates. I know this might be a very obvious one with grocery, but sometimes what I find happens is that you'll find a product, let's say you want to clear the shelf of it or take 10 of the items. You look at the first 1 or 2 and the expiration dates are by far and away good to go, like 2 years from now. But it's happened to me, I've gotten home and those others that I didn't check, they're either expired or they're gonna expire in a couple weeks, a month, whatever the case may be. It only takes an extra second. Make sure you're looking at the expiration date of every single item, okay? It's gonna save you time, money, headache. Number 8, tall tale signs that, is that the word? Tall tale? But obvious signs that you should be doing more research on a product, even if it's at full price. At my local grocery store, sometimes there's notifications right on the product on like the price area that say, that either restrict you on how many you're allowed to buy because of limited supply, that has like an apology, sorry, we're out of this item, limited supply, or you just visually see completely empty shelves. All of these are cues to me that, wow, there's limited supply and or high demand of this product. Let me snap a picture of it and maybe I'll do some research when I get home to see if I can source this product in other parts of the country, on the internet, whatever it is. And I'll check it out with Amazon and Inventory Lab and Keepa to see if there is actually like a shortage, which means if you can get your hands on it, you can charge a premium. So my point is, within the store, look for those different types of versions of limited supply or high demand opportunities. I've done really well with those, and it just takes you from doing RA simply to doing it online. All right? And then lastly, I want to say all clearance is not created equal. Just because something has a clearance item doesn't mean you're going to make profit on it. Just because something is discounted doesn't mean you're going to make profit on it. But typically clearance without like any markdown just means, hey, we're getting rid of this, okay? So this might be your last chance to buy it. Now, that could be a good opportunity, but I really am drawn to clearance items that show a noticeable markdown, meaning, let's say something retails for $20, but you can see it's on clearance and it's noticeable that it's for $4.99. So let's say you're saving, there's a $15 discount. That to me really draws my attention, and those typically do really, really, really well. So it's not that they both can't work. They both do work, and I've done well with both of them, but just know they're different and everything deserves its own proper attention. So those are the 9 things that I came up with that I really thought provided value, especially in the grocery space. Again, I love grocery. It's naturally replenishable items. I'll talk about that more and more and more. But I just noticed that when I'm in the moment, whether it be listing a product, packing a product, or in the store sourcing, all these different things cross my mind, but they've become second nature, so I don't think to share them on the moment. But when I wrote them down, it was clear to me how many are out there. So I'm going to continue to do that. Have a great day. If you have any questions, put them below, and I hope this provides some value. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.